writing is really freaking hard. I'm left wondering how so many people do this. Hello, good morning. Welcome back to another vlog. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. I'm a PhD student in English, and welcome to my dissertation summer writing sprint, where I am going to try to finish my entire dissertation before the fall semester begins in August. So far, I have almost two chapters written. We are currently finishing up chapter 2 this week before the end of May. Definitely. And then hopefully I'll finish up chapter 3 and 4 before August. So it's currently 11 a.m. Had a bit of a later morning because I stayed up till like midnight watching Bridgerton last night, but I had to finish the first 4 episodes. And I went for a nice little walk this morning just to sort of warm up my brain, warm up my body. And I am working at the writing center from noon to 5 today, but since it's summer, basically no one comes in, so that gives me a lot of time to do some work. So I'm hoping to get some solid writing done today. Here's the lunch I'm bringing: PB&J and some extra toasty Cheez-Its. Okay, it is a little after 5, clearly back home now. That was a really good work day. I worked with one of my friends, so we spent like an hour just chatting, catching up, and then I got to work on the discs. I spent maybe like 2 hours doing some work. The first hour I spent just re-watching some of Kaylin Apple's, formerly known as Redhead Academic, some of her vlogs because she's going to be one of my case studies, and like documenting specific quotes that I know I want to analyze or like bring into the actual dissertation. And I like made notes to myself as I was like writing down these quotes, and then I took a nice little walk around campus, and then I sat down and I actually did the writing. And what I'm talking about for now, the first part of this case study, is I'm talking specifically about the way that she uses vlogging as a vehicle to reflect and to disclose her positionality as someone who is studying African American studies but who is not African American and who is not Black. And because I think she does a really good job and she's really thoughtful about it all. And it's also really interesting that she's doing it via vlogging, and she talks about vlogging as like a vehicle for reflection. So I have her like doing the reflecting, and then I have like meta commentary about the reflecting, so reflecting on the reflecting. So it's like a super perfect case study. And I'm also going to use this section, this category of vloggers, of like college and grad student vloggers, to do a little bit of like autoethnography, self-reflection, weaving in my own embodied experiences as a grad student YouTuber myself. And we'll see how much of this actually ends up making it into the disc, how much is actually relevant. But for the methodology, oh, the sun is coming out, so sorry about the lighting. For the methodology that I'm using of feminist inquiry within Rec Comp, one of the core tenets is basically reflecting on your own positionality in relation to the subjects or the case studies that you're studying. So I feel like it is thoughtful and it makes sense to like weave in my own experiences in this part, especially the ways that I talk about positionality in vlogging, and like my cultural body. And yeah, I feel good about it. This is the best I felt about a day of diss writing, I don't know, in a week or two. So we'll take it as a win. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I'm currently leading a dissertation writing group. I'm covering for Megan's, and I lead my own dissertation writing group on Thursday morning, so tomorrow. But this is just a 3-hour stint from 9 to noon where we set some goals and then write in solidarity together. And since it's with the Writing Center, this is paid time for me, which is always nice. So it's 9:30 now. We spent like the first 15 minutes just sort of checking in. I set myself up to write this next section about Kaylin Apple and how she is talking about her positionality and stuff, and I'm going to reference a video called like the documentary Impulse, where she like specifically talks about how vlogging has impacted her thinking, and she like mentions me in my research in the video, which is like really meta. But I want to rewatch that video. I already have some notes, but I just like want it to be really fresh in my mind before I write about it. But I have a meeting with my advisor at 10. So I'm like, I don't want to spend 20 or so minutes rewatching it feeling ready to write and then have to like jump into my meeting with my advisor. So I think I'm gonna just like chill out for a second, write down some questions that or things I want to talk about with my advisor to sort of prep for the meeting, and then I will dive into writing. I also have another meeting today at 3 o'clock, another writing group with some other people in my program, like 5 or 6 of us. We're gonna meet every Wednesday at a coffee shop from like 3 to 6 and work on our dissertations, and some of us are still in the prospectus stage together and just like write. And I'm trying to convince them to go to trivia afterwards, because there's trivia at a new brewery that I've never been to at 7, and I just think that that would be fun. Okay, it is 11:10. I met with my advisor for just around an hour, and it was good. It was a good meeting. I hadn't talked to him in like a month, and we were meeting like once a week there for a minute, so that feels like quite a bit. But I didn't give him any writing to read because I was like, hang on, I'm gonna give you like the full chapter at the end of the month. But we talked about my timeline a little bit more, and I was like, do you think I'm delusional? And he was like, no, I mean a little bit, but that's good because you need to have that kind of like drive to get it done. And he was like, I definitely think that you can have drafts of everything. Obviously not all the revisions done, but like really solid drafts by like August/September, and that made me feel good. And I told him some of like the just like intellectual problems I was thinking through since the last time we met. And last time we met, I was like, I'm having a lot of issues writing these case studies, and it's because I was trying to do a rhetorical analysis of the ways that these vloggers were demonstrating embodied hyper-awareness and audience hyper-awareness, which are 2 key terms that I'm sort of like creating. And really what I need to do is only focus on embodied hyper-awareness, and then audience hyper-awareness comes in the next chapter. Also, once again, the lighting is like funky. Just like clouds are coming and going. And he was like, yeah, that seems like a really good realization to make. And then he was like, so what's your definition of embodied hyper-awareness? Because I also didn't have that last time. And I copy and pasted it and put it into the chat. And he was like, this is good. And he gave me some other words that he was thinking of that come to mind for him. He's really big on like key terms and defining your terms. And one of them was apperception, which I had never heard before. So that's something I need to look into. We also talked about Lacan a bit, and I was like, I hate that we have the same brain at this point, because I also left a comment on my own work, like, why am I thinking about Lacan right now? But he was thinking of Lacan's the mirror stage, and I was thinking of Lacan's idea of the real. And ultimately we decided like maybe Lacan will go in a footnote, but my project is not going to like employ Lacan as like a primary framework, because that's just a different project. And I'm not familiar enough with Lacan. He said, you can't just sprinkle in Lacan, which was funny and accurate. He also talked to me about, what was the other phrase he used? Machine or mechanistic voyeurism, because I gave him a quote that I am analyzing from Jenna Hong's vlog, where she's like, every time I turn on the camera, there's a glare. It's sort of like that she's aware just on the camera. Like she's aware just with the camera being there that she's recording for an audience. And then we talked about the difference between like being aware of your audience because something is digital versus because something is public facing, and often how those are intertwined, that digital stuff is often public facing. feel like this is like all over the place, but that's like typically how my brain is like after my meeting with my advisor. But I feel good. I feel like I'm definitely in the right direction and I have a lot of momentum. I think I'm gonna put pause on writing and just like save it for my 3 o'clock writing group. And maybe I'll do some dishes, do a little cleaning right now. Maybe just do like some like free writing or journaling. My head is spinning a little bit too much right now about like big picture things to like sit down and like really dive into this case study. But he always ends the meetings by like reassuring me that my work is good and that I'm making good progress and that he has no doubts I'm gonna succeed, which is really nice. And I believe him. I don't think that he would just say it if he didn't mean it. And he always says that he's really excited about my work, and that's like the #1 thing that, I don't know, feels good to hear, because he's like, I'm truly excited to read this and to hear these ideas, and that makes me feel like what I have is worth saying. So I've also never played sports before or had a coach, so a relationship with an advisor is really like a unique experience for me. A little later now, it is 2:30. I popped over to Fresh Time, which is like a Whole Foods kind of, and got some stuff for dinner tonight and tried to get some stuff to make sushi bowls tomorrow, but I like couldn't find carrots and I felt so dumb and was like, well, what's going on? They only have like these really tiny carrots, so I'll end up having to go to Kroger or something tomorrow. Anyway, I made a quick little pasta with raw sauce for lunch, and now I'm gonna get on another Zoom call today. So I'm Zooming with someone who thinks that they might want to come to IU or think that they want to apply to IU, so I'm just gonna talk a little bit about the program. And then I will go over to do my writing group, and then I finally convinced everyone to do trivia tonight. Okay, a lot later now. It's 10 o'clock. Just got back from trivia and we won. Came in first place. I am shocked, but also there were only like 8 teams because it's like a new brewery. Megan and Zach and all my other friends, AC, Joanna, they all did so well. I feel like I contributed nothing, but I was the one like putting it in my phone. But we also just felt like it was easier than usual. But it was a lot of fun. Brr. She wants attention because we weren't here tonight. The writing group was also really good. I got a solid hour of work done, and I have a writing group tomorrow morning, which I know I will get more work done. Still working on that case study. I rewatched the video, took a bunch of notes, and I feel like tomorrow is the day when I'm gonna like get all the writing in. But I'm gonna try some ice cream that I got from Fresh Time today. Gelato. I've like eyed this every time I go in there, and today was the day. Pretty good. It definitely doesn't taste like ice cream, it tastes like gelato. But I love gelato. Hello, good morning. Happy Thursday. Fix this. Okay, it is 8:50. I start my dissertation writing group at 9 o'clock. So this morning I wanted to like maybe get started before the disc group because I went to bed pretty early last night, but I don't know what's been going on. If I like have been sleeping with Pirelli too much or what, but like my eye is super itchy. I've been like putting drops in. My neck is just like breaking out in a rash. So I have some like hydrocortisone cream on. So needless to say, I did not get started, but I have my coffee, other half of my bagel here, and we're just gonna get started with the group at 9. Okay, it's been like an hour. It's almost 10 o'clock and I have like basically nothing to show for it. I've just been like staring at my computer and I thought today was gonna be a day when, you know, all the ideas had marinated and it's time for it to come out. I just like don't feel awake enough right now. So I could sit here till the disc group is done at noon. And I could maybe force something out, but I think this is one of those times when I need to go do something else and come back. This just sucks because I was wanting to like get a lot done this morning on the disc, and then maybe this afternoon focus on that conference proposal that's due next week. I don't know, I like have all the ideas in my head. I like had sorted through them all yesterday afternoon and just left myself like diligent notes of like what to say, but now I'm just like, I can't form sentences. And sometimes it's like I can't do it because like the imposter syndrome is there and it's like, oh, nothing feels good enough, and I just like hear like my inner critic or I hear my advisor's voice in my head like saying, I don't know, I'm not explaining things thoroughly enough. But hey, purr. Today is just one of those days where it's like it's not imposter syndrome. I don't know. Ah! Oh, that hurt, purr. I think I'll do some cleaning. Maybe clean up my room. Come back. Try again. It's 12:45. I took a shower, washed my hair, just did like the little round brush attachment on my Shark Flex style. Made a quick little pasta for lunch. And now I'm going to go to Target because I have to pick up a few things, get a little coffee on the way. And then I'm going to go to Zach's house and do some writing. He just has like a really ideal office setup and I have written there like 3 or 4 times and every time I get a lot of work done. And he is home from work today and he said, just come over and do some work and I'll give you a bell and you can ring it when you need more coffee. And I was like, okay, you don't need to tell me twice. Good morning, happy Friday. I am dressed to go for a quick little walk in my neighborhood. Gonna take a nice coffee with me and then I'm gonna force myself to get to work today. I really don't want to because yesterday just like felt like a Friday, but I'm gonna try. That is my goal for today. Try. Sit down, try. Okay, back from my walk. Threw on some makeup, put on this cute little exercise dress because it's very comfy, and I am going to Zach's house later today. He has some friends coming in town. We're gonna play some yard games. I was just gonna put on this new like Say BB cream that I got because it has sunscreen in it, and then I was like, before I knew it, we're doing a full face. So anyway, I still need to get some work done. Still need to sit down and try. So it's gonna take literally everything in me. I'm gonna like set a timer just like 30 minutes. If I could just write one paragraph, I would feel good. For some motivation, we're gonna crack open this lemon lime poppy. Okay, I can do it. Candle burning, poppy, got the laptop stand, keyboard. We're gonna start off just with like a little free write to ease into things, and then one final paragraph on this case study. That's it. That is it. Okay, 126. I wrote the paragraph. It's not very good. It's gonna need some editing, but I got the rough the rough version of like the first ideas down. And it was 240 words, so that's good enough for a Friday. It's supposed to be a summer writing sprint, but it's more just like slow and steady. Writing a dissertation is hard. That's the conclusion of this vlog. That's the overall takeaway. Writing is really freaking hard. And once again, I am left wondering how so many people do this. If you're watching my vlog and you have completed your dissertation, let me know. Because it feels like an act of magic at this point. As always, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video for another summer writing sprint.